Technological advancements have seen considerable changes in how we as consumers use technology and how companies and even governments use technologies. More data is collected from us than ever before and used to shape what we view online. Ever Googled something only to find it popping up in your Facebook or Instagram feeds the next time you're scrolling? It can feel like you're being stalked or tracked, and in a way you are. Data gathered from your browsing or watching activities online is used to build a bigger picture of you and your interests using algorithmic decision making and machine-based learning. This is why you get shown similar content to your interests in your Google News feed or targeted ads on Facebook and Instagram. Well, that seems relatively harmless, and it's even helpful on the occasion when Netflix recommends a great new series you haven't heard of, or YouTube plays a song by your favourite artist without you even having to search for it. But it can also be unhelpful, and it can even be harmful. Did you know that the Australian metadata access and sharing regime allows for information collected to be given to the police, welfare services, tax, revenue protection and fines enforcement agencies, local government bodies and other professional associations? It also goes further, allowing foreign agencies to request data from Australian agencies to be used in enforcing foreign laws. And if you compare Australian law with Canadian, New Zealand, the US and the UK, it has far greater power over what information can be accessed, gathered and shared, even with other countries, which seems a little more sinister than YouTube recommending you a video that you might want to watch next. And it also presents a significant problem for Australian human rights. In 2021, the Human Rights and Technology Report identified two key areas they considered a critical risk to Australian human rights. These included biometric surveillance and algorithmic bias and discrimination. So what are these and what is the problem? Decision-making increasingly uses artificial intelligence, for example, purchasing car insurance or health cover online. We input information and our requests are accepted or declined without human interaction to establish an outcome. In some instances, it's convenient and it can remove human bias. However, the Australian Human Rights Commission points out that the use of artificial intelligence is changing how important decisions are made by government and the private sector, sometimes with devastating consequences. In 2015, the Australian government started a debt recovery program. It used data collected from the Australian Tax Office and the Australian Welfare System Centrelink and issued automated debt notices to welfare recipients where it was deemed there were discrepancies in reported income. The scheme unlawfully claimed almost $2 billion in payments from 433,000 people. Two separate Senate inquiries found the system lacked fairness in the calculation of debt and that vulnerable people had experienced widespread harm. A class action lawsuit saw the coalition government settle $1.2 billion out of court in November 2020. The other key area highlighted as a critical risk is biometric technology, which enables individuals to be identified using physical or biological characteristics, for example, face, eyes, or other physical features. Surveillance cameras have become increasingly common in public spaces where communities are made to feel that increased surveillance keeps us safe, with crimes solved by piecing together footage retrieved from CCTV cameras. The Australian Human Rights Commission report suggests that increased surveillance compromises our privacy, diminishes our freedom of expression, and endangers the right to protest with anonymity. In turn, this could cause harm to social movements and individuals who should be able to retain the right to campaign or join peaceful protest activities without biometric data being shared with the government or other private organisations. This can be seen as harmful, with invalid connections made between individuals and organisations, especially among minority groups. In 2018, civil liberties campaigner Ed Bridges brought a court case against South Wales Police Force in the UK, arguing that the capturing of thousands of faces by the police force was indiscriminate and disproportionate. The Bridges court case concluded that under the European Convention on Human Rights, a right to privacy had been breached and that the Welsh Police Force had not investigated gender bias, which was present in the software used. Research has shown high error rates with certain facial recognition technologies, specifically for racial groups. Facial recognition technology also does not perform well on women. Research by the US MIT Media Lab claimed that 3 separate software programs made mistakes in 21 to 35% of cases for darker skinned women, compared to only 1% error for lighter skinned men. What does this mean for Australians? While we enjoy many aspects of modern technology and AI can enhance our lifestyle, reform and greater emphasis on privacy laws to prevent harm and discrimination from the use of AI and biometrics is needed. The Human Rights Commission report recommended stronger privacy law to protect Australians from harms associated with facial recognition, and human rights standards integrated into domestic law, policy and practice to reduce the social impact of technology. Australians should also have the right to ask how decisions that use AI are determined. If you want to find out more about these changes and your right to privacy, click the link to the Human Rights Technology Report.